Have you been looking for the next romance read to keep you warm at night or your next book bay? Then I have the recommendations you need. Let's get into it. Hello, fellow book lovers. I'm Shay, and welcome back to the channel, MsMalcolmHughes. And today we are going to discuss some really good romance reads that I picked up recently. First up, we have one that I discussed recently, so it should be no surprise. I discussed it in my November wrap, so if you haven't seen that, check it out. It will be in the cards above. But what it is Cinnamon and Golds by Lady Marie. And when I tell y'all that it was a new book boyfriend immediately unlocked, listen, check it out. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It was so good that I put it down and immediately figured out how to buy it and did exactly that. It says, Thanksgiving, the time of year where family and friends come together to enjoy each other's company, eat a bit of turkey, and maybe catch a football game or two. Or maybe it's the time of year where you end up at your ex's mother's house under false pretenses and have to sit through dinner with his family, his new girlfriend, and his fine ass cousin with the gold grill that may or may not have just given you an orgasm that your body could barely handle. Shoot, at least you know the sweet potato pie is good, right? It's so much more than that. And it's short. I read through it very quickly and it's worth it. I enjoyed it. I smiled the entire time. I wouldn't steer y'all wrong. Because I enjoyed that writer, I decided to give another of their works a chance, and this is Worth It, Sisters in Serendipity, Book 1, also by Lady Marie. It reads, the last thing that Michaela Michael is looking for right now is love. She's too busy working to secure her promotion to editor-in-chief of Divine Mahogany magazine. Unfortunately, she can't quite seem to make her family understand that. With her mother's wedding just around the corner, she's suddenly in need of the very thing she's been trying to avoid, a boyfriend. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. This next one is one I've seen around and I've heard good things, and we shall see. This is Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. I know it takes place in my hometown, so that caught my interest. It says, they're a match made in hell. The Griffins and the Gallows have been battling for control of Chicago's underworld for generations. Their rivalry has always been flammable, but it reignites with a fury when Ida, the youngest and wildest Gallows sibling, crashes a party at the Griffin mansion and accidentally sets fire to the library. To stave off all-out war, her father quickly arranges a marriage between her and Callum Griffin, eldest son and heir to the Irish mafia. You know what that premise reminds me of? Demon's Dream. If you haven't read that, check it out. Next up, we have one by someone who I enjoy their romance. They've shifted more into thriller, but this is where they started, and it's been enjoyable. This is A Princess Theory by Alyssa Cole. It says, between grad school and multiple jobs, Naledi Smith doesn't have time for fairy tales or patience for the constant emails claiming she's betrothed to an African prince. Sure, right, delete. As a former foster kid, she's learned that the only things that she can depend on are herself and the scientific method, and a silly email won't convince her otherwise. Seems like it's going to be cute. Next up, we have someone who, RIP, I didn't get a chance to read their works when they were alive, but I've heard good things and I'm looking forward to getting into them. And the first one I have is Brooklyn by Tracy Brown. It reads, Brooklyn Melody James has finally gotten the punishment she deserves after leaving a web of lies, heartache, and betrayal behind her. As her life slips away, Brooklyn remembers the events that shaped her into the cold, calculating creature she became. I have another. This one is Single Black Female by Tracy Brown. This one reads, Ivy Donovan is a successful stylist, entrepreneur, and single mom who has been loyal to her son's father, Michael, as he serves a lengthy prison sentence. But life has gotten lonely over the years, and Ivy wants more for herself. Michael, however, isn't about to lose his family. That reminds me of Ava DuVernay's debut film, I think Middle of Nowhere. Similar premise. I really enjoyed it. I went to see it when it was like first released in limited theaters. Check it out. We have another Tracy Brown. I'm hoping that I really enjoy these, but either way, I'm glad to have them. This one is Hold You Down. And it says, "It has always been just Mercy and Lennox Howard. Growing up on the mean streets of Harlem with an absentee mother meant that they had to have each other's backs. Now young, smart mothers, they are determined to survive in New York City while raising their two sons, Dion and Judah, who have bright futures ahead of them." I've heard the most about single black female in Brooklyn, but we'll see which one I start with. Okay, don't judge me when you see this one. I saw this one online. I figured I would give it a chance. That is King of Dancehall by Nick Cannon. It reads, after being released from a 5-year prison sentence for an armed robbery gone sideways, Tarzan Brixton makes a vow to his dying mother to change his ways. With his mother's medical bills piling up, the temptation of the criminal life becomes too real once again. His solution is to escape the rough streets of New York for the equally ruthless beaches of Kingston, Jamaica. He soon creates a drug-running empire while falling in love with a beautiful Jamaican woman named Maya. It's through Maya that Tarzan becomes captivated by the music, dance, and lifestyle of Jamaican dancehall culture, which ultimately lifts him toward the path of righteousness. Could be a hit, could be a miss. Have to read it to find out. This next one, I have 2 covers because I couldn't decide which one I liked more. And so I'm a fan of Why Choose. So I decided why choose. I have this cover of The Art of Scandal, and I also have this cover of The Art of Scandal by Regina Black. This one says, on the night of her husband Matt's 40th birthday, Rachel Abbott receives a sexy, explicit text from her husband that she quickly realizes was meant for another woman. Divorce is inevitable, and Rachel is determined not to leave her 13-year marriage empty-handed. Meanwhile, Matt, a rising star mayor with his eye on the White House, can't afford a messy split in the middle of his re-election campaign. They strike a deal. Rachel gets $1 million in their lavish house in the wealthy D.C. suburbs of Oasis Springs, as long as she keeps playing the ideal black trophy wife until the election. I've heard mixed reviews, but the cover got me. This one. I've heard so many good things. I really want to see if it's going to live up to the hype. That is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. This says, Alex Volkov is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits for success and vengeance leave little room for matters of the heart. Ava Chen is a free spirit trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. But despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want. We will see. It's given pull and tug. That can be fun. Next up we have a classic. That is Like Water for Chocolate by Lara Esquirel. And this reads, there's no description on the back, but what it says is, a novel in monthly installments with recipes, romances, and home remedies. Oh, this one. I'll just show y'all first. This is the Accidental Diva by Tia Williams. I wanted the original copy, and let's look at the back. How cute! That is such a great picture, and I kind of miss them doing like author photos like that. But I really wanted to have this one of her earlier works, and I wanted like the first edition. This says, Billy Burke is round tighter than the 400 count sheets on her bed. She's brainy and beautiful, but such a workaholic that she hasn't had a boyfriend or sex in 5 years. At 26, she's the beauty editor at a top fashion magazine, and though her days include hip launch parties and truckloads of free makeup, they're also packed with insane deadlines. Billy's worked hard to get to the frothy top of her trade, and she has the migraines to prove it. Obviously, this is going to be about someone finding love. At least we hope. This next one is one of those books of the summer because it has summer in the title and it was everywhere. I haven't read anything by this author, so I'm looking forward to it. That is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Will I wait until next summer? I don't know. But this is what it says. When it comes to love, Emma is cursed. Every guy she dates finds his true love after they break up. But it turns out she's not the only one afflicted with this condition. His name is Justin, and his Reddit thread about being love's good luck charm has gone viral. Now the two have to come up with an ingenious plan. If they date each other, their curses will cancel out, and they'll go on to find their soulmate. Only Justin wasn't supposed to be so unbelievably cute and hilarious. I really like that premise. It feels a little too relatable, but I really like that premise. This next one is by a familiar author. I want to give all of their series a try, but this one is very popular, and that is Long Shot by none other than Kennedy Ryan. And I know she won, like, she was the first Black woman to win, like, the very big, most important romance award with this book. Iris Dupree meets August West in a sports bar during her last semester of college. It's the conversation of a lifetime and sends sparks flying in every direction. The connection is undeniable, but the timing is all wrong. August is poised for the NBA draft, and Iris belongs to another man, basketball's golden boy and August's longtime rival. I know there are a lot of trigger warnings for this one, so we shall see. Because I want to give all of her books or series a chance. Next, I have The Kingmaker, again by Kennedy Ryan. This one reads, in a world of haves and have-nots, Maxim Cade's family has it all, and he wants nothing to do with it. At odds with his oil mogul father, he is determined to build his own empire, even if it means traveling far from home, painted as the black sheep. All right. This one I have read and I have a full review of it up on the channel, but I have finally added it to my collection, and that is Yinka, Where is Your Husband by Lizzie Damalola Blackburn. I'm not going to get into this one because I do have the full video and review up, but know that I really enjoyed this book, so much so that I wanted it in my collection. So that'll definitely be in the cards as well. This is actually one that I pre-ordered for Southern Heart, and it's finally here. And this is Mr. Librarian by Beloved. I haven't read anything by Beloved, but I see their name all the time with Beloved Presents, and I've heard good things. And as a lover of books, with this cover and the title Mr. Librarian, I could not resist. And this says, Honey Williams doesn't trust men. Between her father and last lover, a part of her struggles with resenting the entire species. She spent the past 6 months hidden in the safety of her parents' home, hoping her kind heart will never be the cause of pain and misfortune again. That seems possible until a cranky client causes chaos, which leads to her meeting Mr. Librarian. We shall see. This one right here, thicky, thicky, thicky. I've read it. I've reviewed it. It will also be in the cards. If you are a fan of urban romance, this will come as no surprise. That is Demon's Dream, An Unexpected Love by Elle Kaysen, what I spoke of earlier. I finally have this thicky in my collection, and she thick, but I read it in a weekend. So that tells you something, right? Get into it and check it out. I do have a signed copy of this. I also have a signed copy of a couple of the other books. I did not show them to you all. My apologies. But I really try to get signed copies whenever I can. This is a modern day hood classic. I just want y'all to know. Get into it. Whew, this one these right here, this series. I already have the interlude, but I wanted to order these. Again, shout out to Antoinette Sherell for sending me that book when it was sold out and I couldn't get my hands on it. I appreciate you. But this is the Art of Hood Love series. I have Savvy, Shabu, and Love. This is the last one. But not technically not. So we have the first three in the series. There's also Lessons from a Hidden Treasure. That's like the interlude. And then Relic is getting his own book. I won't get into these too much. Know that I love this series down. One of my all-time favorite urban series. And if you have read the series, hopefully you're also checking out Antoinette Sherell's website where she is posting blogs on these characters and the build up to Relic's story. Listen, I did a video about my favorite urban fiction series, and this one has my heart for real. I'm waiting for her to put the t-shirts back on sale. The one that says "Welcome to the Fold," in by blood, out by no, in by love, out by blood. I love that quote. Speaks to my heart. But yeah, check it out. All right, this next one is from a goat. Hopefully you're familiar. If not, please get familiar. And that is To Catch a Raven by the one and only Beverly Jenkins. Beverly Jenkins is your favorite romance writer's favorite romance writer. So, get into it. This says, lying and cheating may be sins to some people, but for Raven Moreau, it is a way of life. She comes from a long line of grifters and couldn't be prouder until she was forced to help the government. All right, so this next one is another Beverly Jenkins. It is Bring On the Blessings. I love that. I love that cover. It just gives me so much summer. This reads, on Bernadine Brown's 52nd birthday, she received an unexpected gift. She caught her husband Leo cheating with his secretary. She was hurt, angry too, but she didn't cry, woe is me. Nope. She hired herself a top-notch lawyer and ended up with a cool 275 million. I know that's right. Having been raised in the church, she knew that when much is given, much is expected. So she asked God to send her a purpose. Y'all might see me reviewing and reading this one soon. Next up, we have another classic author who has shifted genres, but I like to go back and I like to start from the beginning of people's catalogs. And right here, I've shared the first book before. These are the last two books. And this is Second House from the Corner by Sadeqa Johnson, a novel of marriage, secrets, and lies. We also have And Then There Was Me by Sadeqa Johnson. And I don't want to read any of these because I believe it's a trilogy and I don't want to spoil anything from myself. Those are the books I wanted to share. Hopefully you can find a book boo from those. I will be reading them and trying to find one for myself. And as soon as I do, I will come and let y'all know. That is it for today. As always, I am MsMalcolmHughes, one who believes that books are sometimes better than people. Please have the best day of your life on purpose, and I will see y'all in the next one.